email. And it is nothing like anything you've ever seen before. I'm going to show you what we call the horizon view. So this is my email. You see it's much more rich and colorful than a traditional list of text. It has color coding, so messages from friends are in red, and coworkers in green, my wife in orange, and profile pictures from social networks. So I can quickly find messages just by panning across. I can see logos from companies, quickly find my flight itinerary here, and I can even see the messages. Even the size of the tile adjusts based on relevance. Now if I want to see a little bit more of my inbox, I can just zoom out. Just a simple pinch, the messages become a little smaller, I can still read the text, and I can navigate really quickly through this. Now sometimes you know exactly what email you're looking for. So let's say I want to find an email from my wife. I remember it was around Valentine's Day, and I can just pan across here. Now in this zoom level, you can see that icons for attachments really stick out. So it's really easy to just see the face and the color coding that you're looking for, find the message, and just zoom in and read it. I even have my categories right there in the message. Now if I want to see even more messages, I can zoom out one more time and get a real big picture of my email. Now this is great, but what if I want to actually see some trends in my email? Let's say I sort it by sender. So here, it's clear, I get a lot of email from my business partner, Alex. Got some Amazon orders there, handy in case I need to look up status or something like that. See a couple of friends, coworkers I get a lot of email from. What if I want to actually understand what sort of work this represents? I can just switch and view by category. So here I can quickly see I've got a lot of errands I need to run, a lot to do that I need to finish at home, orders to track, a lot of personal mail. So that's the horizon view. Now this is even more powerful with some simple filters. So if I just swipe up here, I have this filter bar that I can just use to decide exactly which messages I want to see. So let's say I just want to see email from my business partner, my wife, and a few friends. I can just tap them, I can change the views, let's just zoom in, read the messages. And maybe since I've been so busy in the last week getting ready for this, maybe I just want to see things that I missed. So I'll just filter down and just look at mail from last week. Maybe I just want to see things that were high priority, and then I can just quickly see anything that might have fallen off of my radar. And we can also filter by category. So maybe I just want to see what are the emails that I said I was going to read later or reply later. Well, some of these I can spot are pretty old. I probably should have done that a while ago, but here we are. So that's filtering. Now, how do we get these categories? Not a lot of category UIs make it easy to add that kind of metadata. So what we've done is we've just put the categories right in the message. So here, these are my personal categories based on the way that I work and try to process my email. So I might mark this as something that I'm waiting for a response to. Maybe it's something I want to finish at home, a meeting I need to set up. This just makes it really fast, really easy to be able to make email work the way that I think it works.
Okay, so wrap it up.
But the last quick feature that lets me keep my inbox clean is one-touch delete. In just one simple, natural gesture, I can push up on the tile, I can undelete it if it was an accident, and so this lets me keep my inbox really clean. So this is TouchMail. You're the very first to see it. We're on the Windows 8 store today as a preview, and we're working on all major platforms. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. an email-related product. Email's obviously broken, and there's people with lots of interesting ideas about how to fix it. Chihuahua, why don't you start?
Sure. Two questions. Great demo.
Thank you.
Number one, why did you build for Windows first? And secondly, no prejudice in that question at all, just out of curiosity. Secondly, a number of companies have tried to use the face, kind of face modality or the face framework for navigation, but the key problem is that you can't get all the faces, right? So Sparrow did it to try to piggyback off the Facebook protocol or Facebook Open Graph, but Facebook didn't necessarily have correct email addresses for matching. So if you then imagine your interface with 80% of the faces not populated, it becomes fairly unusable. So how do you solve that?
Okay, so the first part of the question, so yes, Windows 8 was a really great rapid development prototype. We had some ideas about how we wanted to bring this to market, regardless of the platform. And really our vision is about how do we enable people on all the devices that they do email, coordinate that. And so all major platforms will be implemented. The other reason is that we think that there's strategic value in building a relationship with Microsoft. We recently won a Windows 8 global programming competition. That's helped open some doors, and so we think that that can help us. And also, there's more licensing opportunities on the platform like Windows when you talk about like OEMs and other distributors. So I think there's a lot of value in that sense. Now, to your other question, we will use color coding no matter what. So even if you only identify your top few senders, like your wife, your business partner, and a couple of key people, and put the profiles in there, you'll still get a visual recognition on a lot of people. But part of our secret sauce is also being able to get images from like LinkedIn, Facebook, the local directory, and eventually Exchange as well.
Greg?
Yeah, it's so there's been a ton of email things like mentioned. It seems that most of them are focused on how do I take this massive amount of email and make it smaller and show me the most important. And I love the UI and I love all the visuals. It's really awesome. My concern is like 2 hours of email and I do like 8 screens over and it might be completely unuseful. So at what point does like the vast amount of email just make the visual too much?
I don't think it does, because this just scales much better than a list, which is entirely linear. So you're still getting the ability to look at 100 or more messages at once, whereas in a list, with the same amount of email, you're still only going to be able to see about a dozen at a time. So we have that, but also using the filter mechanism, instead of starting with all of your messages and having to mentally process which you want, you can actually just build up a set of messages that are relevant to you at that point in time. Garrett?
I think it's really interesting for a tablet application. How do you think this would scale down to small size? Like, would you be able to do this at a phone size?
Yes, absolutely. And some of the designs and prototypes that we have actually make it really pop on the phone factor more, because when you have even less real estate, it's more important that you do really creative and innovative things with the visualizations to actually maximize what limited space you have.
Okay, we're at time. That's TouchMail. Thank you.